Okay, chat. I have here kind of a sequel to the anomalous signals video, and people liked that. I liked it, and I got a pack here from Res Dragon, and I think we're going to call it anomalous sounds again, but this one's audio files from space, the deep ocean, and other strange places. Now, for a Sunday stream, this kind of stuff is completely contrary to what you just witnessed for the past couple hours, but I think it'll be interesting. And I think it'll be a little creepy. So I've been sitting on this pack for a little bit and I've been warming it up, but I think now would be a good time to check it out. So let me read something to you real quick. Before we get to the space sounds, let me take a moment to explain how we have these sounds. Majority of these files are not recorded the same way we record sound from Earth. A few are. Essentially, what a majority of these recordings are is plasma, electromagnetic waves, and radio emissions turned into sound waves we can hear. So NASA said, as it happens, some electromagnetic waves occur within our audible frequency range. This means scientists only need to translate the fluctuating electromagnetic waves into sound waves for them to be heard. Yes. Well, as an example, here's audio from the Europa flyby. Just so you get an example of what we're doing here. So we're going to be listening to some strange planetary sounds, and I'm sure someone could make music to this, but also there's some like kind of unknown sounds and stuff like that. So let's do it. Let's get into the strange sounds. This one is 13 hours of radio emissions from Jupiter's intense auroras. The data was collected when the spacecraft made its first orbital pass of the gas giant on August 27, 2016, with all spacecraft instruments turned on. I mean, it's definitely, if you're going to make a space song, it's pretty cool for that. This is chorus radio waves in Earth's atmosphere. Sounds like frogs. Chorus waves are a class of frequency chirping, Whistler mode plasma waves that are routinely observed in Earth's near-space environment. Chorus waves play a key role in various physical processes, including the formation of Earth's Van Allen radiation belts, the pulsating aurora, and the deposition of particle energy into Earth's upper atmosphere. Although these waves have been observed by satellites for almost 6 decades, the origin and excitation mechanisms of chorus waves are poorly understood because there are not enough appropriate observations. This is going to be a very wordy segment. I'm going to try my best to keep this interesting, chat, but if you're not interested in strange sounds, I don't know if this is going to be something that is going to keep your attention. But again, there are unknown sounds. There's some stuff that's going to be kind of weird, and deep sea stuff sounds in particular very interesting. This next one is Black Hole at the Center of the Perseus Galaxy. So NASA creates these images by assigning pitch and volume to brightness and placement on photos or data. Similarly to how they translate Hubble's data into images we can see. These are mostly made so the visually impaired, the blind, are still able to experience images from space in some way. This sonification of this black hole is different from the rest, as they use actual sound waves that have been captured coming out of this cluster. This galaxy cluster, being as dense as it is with gas, allows sound to actually travel within it. There is sound in space, and it's being made by black holes. Terrifying. Yes, you are literally listening to a black hole. Huh. Ganymede flyby. Juno's WAVES instrument, which tunes into the electric and magnetic radio waves produced in Jupiter's magnetosphere, collected data on those emissions. Their frequency was then shifted into audio range to make the audio track. So, I mean, some of this is just like fake. I say fake, it's real, but it's not like, you know, the planet isn't making this noise. Ganymede plasma waves. Couldn't find any information on this one, it says. What the hell is it? It's probably done the same way as the flyby, I would imagine. It's weird. Saturn radio emissions. Saturn is constantly emitting powerful radio waves. We're going to get that in a second. It sounds like something's dying. That last one. Cassini captured a few in its time observing the planet. I've listened to a lot of creepy audio over the last 2 years. The sounds from Saturn spook me the most. NASA has literally labeled one of the files as spookysaturn.mp3 on its website. Yeah, that's a little disconcerting. It's like discordant, but I don't understand. Like, why is Saturn doing, like, do we know why? I don't think we know. What are the aliens listening to? What are they transmitting? Where do they come from? Where do they go? And the question is, who's going to turn the Saturn sounds into a Cotton Eye Joe remix? I just don't know. Dinks and Dongs is this next one. Hang on. Insight lander Dinks and Dongs. NASA's Insight lander, when touched down on Mars, November 26, 2018, provided the first ever sounds of Martian winds on the red planet. Insight sensors captured a haunting low rumble caused by vibrations from the wind, estimated to be blowing between 10 to 15 miles per hour. This is like the 2300 AD Chrono Trigger world map. Two very sensitive sensors on the spacecraft detected these wind vibrations, an air pressure sensor inside the lander and a seismometer sitting on the lander's deck. The two instruments recorded the wind noise in different ways. So it's like a giant pair of ears, but essentially this is the first recording of Mars. Here's Jupiter's roar. This bow shock was recorded by Juno as it crossed into Jupiter's magnetic field. Or bow shock, maybe? Again, that kind of sounds like Super Nintendo, like effects for wind. It's very interesting. But yes, I don't have information on all of these. This one is the Kepler star, and then a bunch of letters and numbers. Light curve waves to sound. Kepler is a space telescope that discovered 2,600 planets during its 9-year mission in deep space. These are light curves from a star it observed that have been converted into sound. Pretty sure that's what you hear when you're in Manhattan, a car drives by real fast. You just kind of hear that like low rumble. They got their windows closed. They're listening to a very bassy song. It's a familiar feeling. Lightning on Jupiter recorded by Voyager. For the longest time, it was only hypothesized that lightning occurred on Jupiter. This recording from Voyager confirms that lightning does indeed happen on Jupiter, as this is the radio signals that lightning emits. Strangely, the signal is a different range from how it's emitted on Earth. Meteoroid crashing into Mars. That's creepy. So this is observed by NASA's InSight lander on Mars from 2020 to 2021. NASA describes it like it's like a bloop due to a peculiar atmospheric effect. It's aliens, chat. In this audio clip, the sound can be heard 3 times. When the meteoroid enters the Martian atmosphere, explodes into pieces, and impacts on the surface. There's water aliens on Mars, confirmed. Plasma on Jupiter. So this is just plasma wave signals from Jupiter's ionosphere. We all know what that means, of course. It says, I can't confirm if the beeps are from Juno itself. Creepy noise compilation for YouTube video, part 1. Jupiter plasma noises. Sonification of a Hubble deep space image. So again, this is translating the images into sound. And yeah, you could probably base a prog rock song around this. So without going into the science of this next one, I don't even know how to explain this, but this is what the sun sounds like. Even the person who made this doesn't know how to explain this. Oh, wow. No, I'm kidding. I typed inside a volcano, lava and flame sound effect. Sorry, chat. I had to. If it doesn't sound like Mount Doom or Mordor, you know, like in Mordor, then yeah, it's not worth the... Sorry, chat. It's just not good. So apparently, when NASA sent Perseverance to Mars, they equipped it with an off-the-shelf microphone to record the sound of the planet. Due to the differences in atmosphere on Mars compared to Earth, sound travels differently there. For example, your voice would actually be significantly deeper on Mars. Perseverance has sent back recordings from its off-the-shelf microphone, and that's exactly what these files are. These are audio files as we understand them. While audibly not that exciting, it's just the very idea that you're listening to another planet. Perseverance gathering samples with its onboard equipment. That's what that one was. First ever recording of audio from Mars. Aside from, us having been to Mars already from the alien stuff we reverse engineered. I'm joking, chat. Stanley Kubrick went to Mars before we all did. And then here's the second one. It's just Martian winds. I picture this being like a USB microphone that I had in 1998. So, and then we have a Mars quake. There's a very, very low frequency, but this is the sound of an earthquake on Mars. So, Mars quake. A quake. We've got more spooky Saturn. I explained the whole Saturn thing before, and this one is literally called spookysaturn.mp3. Chad, I'm not kidding. This sounds like Zen from Half-Life. Is this not? Possible they borrowed it. I don't know if we had this audio in the late 90s. This one's pretty well known. Yeah, that's a little unsettling. Okay. Deep sea recordings, chat. Big's killer whale. Biggs' killer whales differ from regular killer whales in that they primarily hunt marine mammals and not fish. These are their calls recorded by Ocean Networks Canada, ONC. So we go from space to the deep ocean. Okay. Bioduck. This sound was first recorded sometime in the 1960s by submarine personnel, which called it bioduck because of how it resembled a quacking duck. For decades, nobody was really sure what the sound was, and it was once dubbed as one of the largest unsolved mysteries of the Southern Ocean. It wasn't until 2014 that scientists discovered that this sound was made by Antarctic minke whales, or minke whales, after attaching microphones to a pair of whales and hearing them make the sound. The purpose of the sound is still a mystery, however. It does sound a little quacky. And it sounds like throat singing. Weird. Blue whale calls and songs. So this is the largest animal on Earth. The blue whale. I wonder, what's the Human to blue whale size. Let's see a comparison. Yeah. Wait, that doesn't make sense. Why is the tank so small? Well, you can see the divers. Interesting. That man is taller than a plane. I know. I see what it's doing. I think the bottom, it's a weird thing it's kind of doing there, but yeah. Then you have this. And there's the mink whale too. Like I thought, yeah, look at the fucking humpback whale. You see those in like pictures and you're like, that's massive. The blue whale is like double almost. Sperm whale looks happy. They're probably pretty happy. But yeah, that's I have a little bit of a thalassophobic thing where I have this fear of the deep ocean. It's a blue whale song. Chad, just think there's a whole society of these blue whales just existing and singing their songs right now while we're watching a stream. Here's a bottlenose dolphin. This one might just be a personal preference as I like the texture and audio. This is no exception. Something about how these chirps and calls sound with this old distorted texture is very interesting to me. It says here. Yeah, I mean, we're learning. This is education sauce tonight, chat. I really like this. It's interesting. Interesting, chat. I would consider myself to be an audio-focused person. And, you know, you hear Foley in movies for things like this, but you don't actually think about what some of these things sound like. Fish grunts. Captured by ONC, fish actually can and do make noise. Even some aquarium fish are known to chirp or click. Something clearly upset this fish. It doesn't sound very happy about it. It kind of just went... Vinny stream category. Yeah, strange audio, no? Yeah, it's good. Let's keep moving. We got Garibaldi damselfish grinding its teeth. It's extremely aggressive to anything and anyone when protecting its eggs. The sound is one of its threat displays. The fish does look like quite an asshole. And this is from Wikipedia. During this time period that the eggs are developing, the male Garibaldi aggressively tries to keep all other fish away from the very edible eggs. That's the very first, like, not the first, but that's like a line of text from Wikipedia. Very edible. Killer whales. Declassified naval recordings. It kind of sounds like kids playing to me, like in the distance, you know, like in like a playground. I don't know. That's what I hear. Pods of orcas have distinct enough calls that you can tell each of them apart, and they're all labeled as such. Man, life on this planet is so interesting. So varied. Star Wars. Named because of its similarity to sci-fi sound effects. Once again, our friends, the minke whales, this time the dwarf variety. That's my favorite one so far, I think. There's a song in there. Like seriously, if you just find a way to get that a little more musical, you can make a song out of that. I don't know. I kind of like that sound. It's so weird. And yes, you could do laser noises out of it. The boing. First recorded in the 1950s around Hawaii and San Diego, this sound confused naval crews and scientists for decades. In 1982, researchers hypothesized this sound was being created by minke whales, basing the information on when they appeared and where they were found. This finally proved to be true in 2002 after researchers spent an hour tracking the sound and confirming minke whales were in the area, or it might just be mink, I'm not sure. The minke whales confirmed themselves by literally breaching in front of the researchers. I'm going to find out real quick how to pronounce that. It's minky. It actually is minky, it says, according to Wikipedia. So, yeah. I think the minke whale is now my favorite strange sounding creature on this planet. I mean, there's some good birds too that make some weird noises, but this is whale calls recorded at the Challenger Deep. The Mariana Trench, as you may know, is the deepest ocean trench in the world. Its deepest point is called Challenger Deep. To give you an idea of how deep Challenger Deep is, if you somehow stuck Mount Everest at the bottom of the Challenger Deep, the mountain's peak would still be over 7,000 feet below the surface. So I actually do have a graph to illustrate that point, because we are learning here tonight on Sunday stream. So that is where that was recorded, chat. And it looks like NOAA decided to stick a microphone, or in this case, a hydrophone at the bottom of the Challenger Deep, expecting it to be quiet. They discovered quite the opposite. It's actually buzzing with activity. These two whale calls they managed to capture, for example. This first one is suspected to be a bride's whale call. Second, some kind of toothed whale or a baleen whale. They also realized a surprising amount of human activity from passing ships can be heard at these depths. Imagine that. Imagine just like... Yeah, I don't even want to think about it, because it's that I find scary. That's like one of my fears, like I said, the thalassophobia shit. But the very, very bottom of the ocean could find my way to Mariana, the trench. This is the bloop. So this is ice and icebergs. This is a famous recording. This is a pretty famous recording from the ocean depths. Originally recorded consistently in the summer of 1997. It was a mystery for a few years until the NOAA discovered similar sounds when observing large icebergs cracking. The file's been sped up 16 times. This next one's Julia, recorded March 1, 1999, another famous mystery sound of the ocean. What this most likely is the sound of an iceberg running aground in Antarctica. It was loud enough to be heard by all of the hydrophones in the equatorial Pacific Ocean Autonomous Hydrophone Array. This file has been sped up also 16 times. The original recording lasted over 2 minutes. This one. Yeah, kind of makes sense. Slowdown is next. This is recorded May 19th, 1997. NOAA is very positive that this sound is a large iceberg becoming grounded. Oh. This is also sped up 16 times. Train, recorded March 5th, 1997. NOAA believes this is also an iceberg being run aground. Weird. Ice cracking. From ONC, just a sound that I think is neat, says the creator of the pack, Res Dragon. It's neat. Whoa. Okay, military sounds. Knock, the talking beluga whale. I included this in the military section as he was captured and trained by the U.S. Navy and was even used in 2 top-secret missions. Knock was captured sometime around 1977 and 1980 in an operation the Navy called Cold Ops. The Navy trained 6 beluga whales in numerous tasks, one of which was using a special tool in their mouths for retrieving torpedoes from the ocean floor. Holy shit. Knock stood out among the rest of the belugas as he began to imitate human speech. There's one incident where some divers were working on something near his enclosure, and one of the divers heard the order out. When the diver surfaced, he asked who gave the order, but everyone denied issuing it. It was later discovered to have come from Knock. This is a recording of Knock speaking. He was described as very easygoing, the kid among the other whales, loved people and attention. Passed away in 1999 while still under the Navy's care. This photo used in the video is from 1995. That's so weird. That's so fucking weird. It sounds like mocking almost. I don't think you could mistake that necessarily, but it sounds like he's doing the Final Fantasy victory song, says a chat member. A little bit. Yeah, a little bit. Well, that is fascinating. That's really weird and interesting. And I do wonder if we had trained Knock a little bit more, could he have said skibbity? This next one is active. This next one's active sonar pings, declassified naval recording. It's classic of a sonar sound as you get. I have to admit, I really like the sound of sonar, if you couldn't tell. Well, this is a close range one. That's probably not the one That's a different thing entirely. Hang on. We'll come back to that. This is the sonar one that was declassified. Sounds like something Trent Reznor would use on the Downward Spiral 2. Sub-electric boogaloo. So here's a modern day sonar recording. This might not actually be a military vessel. So the close range of the sonar pings, what you heard a minute ago, this horrible noise, right? We're not going to play that for too long. But that noise, it says here, it's very loud. So loud, in fact, it can literally kill you. Joe Hilton from the Physics Stack Exchange put this best. There are no noise-canceling headphones to stop the U.S. Navy's 235 decibel pressure waves of unbearable pinging and metallic shrieking. At 200 dB, the vibrations can rupture your lungs. And above 210 dB, the lethal noise can bore straight through your brain until it hemorrhages the delicate tissue. If you're not deaf after this devastating sonar blast, you're dead. This is part of the reason why there's such a big discussion over the noise we make in the ocean. Would have never even considered that. I do wonder what that does for, in regards to animals. Torpedo being launched. This is a declassified naval recording from the 50s or 60s. It's an amazing sound, but a part of me wonders just what blew up. All right. Unidentified recordings. These recordings are of unknown origin, to my knowledge. So, we have here, we'll start with the 52 hertz whale. This is a pretty famous recording, also known as the world's loneliest whale. This is a whale call that was first heard in the 1980s and has been detected in many different locations since then. This appears to be one individual making this sound. Most whale calls exist at a much lower frequency than this. Blue whale calls exist at 10 to 39 hertz. This call, as the name suggests, is 52 hertz. Due to the high frequency range of the call, it's theorized that no other whale can answer it, which is how it gains the title of the world's loneliest whale. After all this time, we still don't have an answer as to what makes the sound. However, there is potential that there is a second 52 hertz whale out there, as sporadic recordings of a second 52 hertz whale were heard in 2010. Well, hopefully they found each other. This could also be the sound of that underwater UFO base, but we don't talk about that too much. It's fine. Again, Stanley Kubrick probably had something to do with that. Echo fish. Not hecklefish. This is the sound of unknown origin picked up by naval submarines in the 50s or 60s. Couldn't find any more information on this other than that, though. That's a really kind of semi-disturbing sound for me. we tend to humanize the things we don't fully understand, and just because we recognize patterns, and obviously things in nature don't follow the same rules, but that does to me sound like something is like whining or is like hurt, and as a result it does elicit some kind of emotional response from me. There's like a mix of sadness and fear, not like a large degree of it, you know. I'm going to be fine, chat, but yeah, it's one of those things that you just kind of can't help but assign some kind of emotion to it. Underwater beacon. I don't have any more context for this other than its title. This is what happens when you find a bunch of old Navy recordings from 13-year-old YouTube videos. It's a pretty creepy sound, though. I'm surprised I haven't used this in my own work yet. Again, I'm reading this from the pack creator, Res Dragon. Unidentified marine mammal. From ONC. ONC was unable to identify what was making these noises. It was a two-parter that was combined into one. And it gets real weird at the end, chat. What animal am I thinking of that makes these weird... Not meat, but what? There's like a weird animal that does this kind of thing. Like a toad. Dolphins, yeah. Koalas. Oh my God. The end of that. What the fuck? Okay, again, it sounds like a Half-Life noise. It did sound like a koala noise a little bit. The audio quality of that was like really good, and it was gross. But I guess now we know there's underwater demons. This next one is Upsweep. Pretty famous unknown sound. Was first detected by NOAA in 1991 when they first began setting up hydrophones. Sound is loud enough to be heard throughout the entire Pacific Ocean and has been heard continuously since 1991, although it is on the decline. The sound appears to be seasonal, peaking in spring and autumn. They've managed to narrow down its location somewhere between New Zealand and South America, 45 degrees south, 54 degrees south, 140 degrees west. However, what's making the sound is still a mystery. It's theorized that it could be volcanic activity, but even I have my doubts. There is apparently a horrible buzzing sound, so the spectrograph, might not be 100% accurate, as they removed the sound. Whistle. Recorded July 7th, 1997, whistle is believed to possibly have been caused by volcanic activity, due to similar sounds to the whistle having been recorded. However, to pinpoint its location, the sound needed to be picked up by at least 3 hydrophones. This was only picked up by 1. NOAA believes this means that the volcanic activity must have been very far away before it reached the 1 hydrophone. Still a mystery as to where it came from, however. Okay. Deep sea. Done. Shortwave radio recordings next. So it says here, I've only just begun my search into shortwave radio, so I don't have a lot to show you that aren't horribly unpleasant to listen to because I like absolute horrible garbage noise. I really have to thank you, Vinny, for your stream about shortwave radio and number stations because that got me into shortwave radio, and now I've bought my own radio. Cool. Happy to help. But yeah, the worst horrible noises, I'm glad to not hear too much of that. This one's electrical interference or possibly station markers. You hear these kinds of sounds of signals all over WebSDR. I don't know if this is just nearby electrical interference, station markers, or perhaps Earth's natural radio emissions. I have more of these, but decided to show the most interesting one. Kind of has a nice beat to it. Somewhat unsettling. Not unsettling, just odd on the ears. Electrical interference from an Acer curved monitor. While messing with my own radio, shortwave radio, I tuned into about 4.795 megahertz and started moving the radio around my home office to see if I could possibly pick up something inside. While doing this, I pointed the radio toward my curved monitor display and started getting this noise coming from it. Reminds me of sounds from Faith. Does sound like that. Getting fucked. Tuned into some British CB radio conversations on WebSDR. I just like how he says it. I had no idea what these guys were talking about. Most likely CB radio, as that is what I've heard the most.
I'm on the wire at the minute. Which is a real shame because I'm getting spots in America on 40, which means it could be a good day on there for voice.
We were just four guys, you know. We were a band, really. Just a couple of guys getting fucked.
I'm getting spots in America on 40, which means it could be a good day on there for voice.
Any Brits know generally where that accent might be? Getting fucked? Because he doesn't even really say fucked.
I'm getting spots.
He says fucked. Straight up fucked. Liverpool, innit? Birmingham? It does sound more northern in my limited knowledge of such things. All right, well, that's interesting. Hello.
Japan Golf. Airport Japan Golf. Hello, thank you for the call. Good morning, you're 59. My name is Tony. To yourself.
Okay, it just says hello, good morning. And I don't know if there's information on this. So, just sounds cool.
Japan Golf. Airport Japan Golf. Hello, thank you for the call. Good morning, you're 59. My name is Tony. To yourself.
Okay, got no information on that one. Indonesian band racers. This was not discovered by me or ResDragon. This was found and posted by YouTube user Buzz Archive. According to them, these are Lima pirates that were jamming the 7,000 kilohertz frequency. They weren't sure what they were doing this for, but apparently they were at it for hours. I see people saying it's Joe Biden or Lisan Al-Gaib. tune is fresh in everyone's mind. I think the last one was a plain radio frequency. They usually say good morning when establishing communications with ground control. Lime and limpid green, a second scene. Oh. Around the blue you once knew? Astronomy Domine would have been a great song to play for today's BRB. Second scene now fights between the blue you once knew. Floating down the sound resound around the icy waters underground. Jupiter and Saturn, Oberon, Miranda, and Titania, Neptune, Titan, stars can frighten. It's lyrics. It's Pink Floyd. Chat. It's a good song. They're jamming radio to stop distress calls. Music station not fully dialed in. This was when I was still learning how WebSDR worked. Despite not being able to tune into the station, I'm quite obsessed with the audio degradation on this. Yeah, that's actually fairly interesting. The sound, just the quality and the tone of the sound is interesting. Russian gong. While searching around stations in Russia, I saw this weird beeping on the waterfall view. There's a lot of Morse code stations in Russia. I assume this was also Morse code, which of course it's not. About 3 seconds into me dialing, I heard that weird gong noise. The signal then went quiet. Hamada, auto. I have no idea what this is and would be interested in knowing if anyone might know. It was quite unsettling nonetheless. It does sound like the HEV charging suit. Gutsman's ass, huh? Anyway. The Gong, German number station from Cold War. This was a number station that I didn't see mentioned in your number station stream. If you've mentioned this before or missed it, you can omit this. I'm not a number station expert like the previous person was. I'm more fascinated with them from a sound design point of view. So, G03 was a number station operated by East German Army and was most likely used for espionage on the other side of the Berlin Wall. As it stopped broadcasting after the wall came down, the gongs and chimes that played were apparently played on tape. Gradually, over time, the tape began to degrade and distort the audio. I would have included that, but I remember you, Vinny, mentioning that numberstations.com hit you with a copyright strike for your stream about them. Not a strike, but they claimed it. Yeah, numberstation.com likes to claim number station audio. And that sound file, distorted audio, came from their website. So yeah. U.S. Air Force number station E17 English lady. This is another video from Buzz Archive, which is a recording of the number station E17 from 2017. E17 is supposedly run by the Air Force, broadcasting a new message for the first 2 weeks of a month before then sending null messages for the rest of the month. According to the numberstations.com, it's located in Russia. Well, hopefully, like, me playing this stuff on a stream isn't some kind of, violation of number station, whatever, laws and regulations. Let me skip ahead a little bit.
6, 7, Victor, Lima, X-ray, 4, X-ray, 6, Uniform, India, Golf, Foxtrot.
Gordon Freeman.
I say again. India, Echo, Yankee, 2, Papa, Tango, Yankee, Zulu, 4, Uniform.
Weird.
4, 7.
Universal Time from Canada. This is the only station I can get to come in clearly where I live, but from a sound design perspective, I think it's kind of neat. This is the Universal Time being broadcast from Canada. The beeps are actually the seconds passing by. I wonder who's using this, though. Like, obviously the purpose of these things is a little bit nebulous for a lot of people, but I'm sure there's a good reason. Maybe it's just like you need the time, you don't have a watch, you just tune in with your radio. I don't know. Maybe to calibrate radio equipment. Radio clock synchronizer. There you go. It's used to sync clocks at sea, says a chat member. I'll buy that. Well, unknown sound. There's not a lot of unknown sound, but here's something for you. Forest Grove noise. In Forest Grove, Oregon, the strange high-pitched metallic scream was heard at night, sounding off at random intervals. Sometimes it would only be for a few seconds. Sometimes it was for a few minutes. It started February of 2016, and despite numerous investigations, the source of the sound was never discovered. After February of 2016, the noise oddly ceased. Tay's done. Interesting. Okay, well, that's something unknown. There's more stuff. Animal sounds. Get some interesting ones. Non-aquatic variety. Most of the animal sounds I have are pretty mundane, so here's the more interesting ones I found. You may notice that these are kind of terrifying in some way, as those are the sounds I mostly gravitate towards, being a horror artist. Fair enough. Also, we get a lot of very grainy, low-quality pictures of quote-unquote UFOs, and as a UFO enthusiast, I am obviously interested to a degree until it's just getting like, your brain starts to just filter it out. It's like, all right, how many of these can I see? You don't know the quality of the person who's posting it. You don't know if it's a Photoshop. Obviously, people see weird shit in the sky. I want to hear weird shit from the sky. Like, I wonder if there are any times people have quote unquote recorded like the video of a UFO and also have the sound captured. Though in a lot of these reports, it's completely silent or a low hum. So who knows? But that was just a side note for anomalous sounds potentially in the future, if anyone is aware of sounds like that. But this is a black-footed albatross. Most of the animals sound... Oh, sorry. I once found a YouTube video that called this drunk-sounding seagull scary. Dear Lord. The black-footed albatross makes these vocalizations when fighting over food or courting. Holy shit, dude. Just take it. You can have the French fry. I don't want it. Pizza, too. You're not going to eat all that, but that's fine. Take it. Channel build cuckoo. This is easily one of my personal favorites. Channel build cuckoos are the largest cuckoo in the world. And the largest brood parasite. AKA, they lay their eggs in a different bird species nest, and that bird species raises their young. You lazy fuck. Also, imagine for some reason you're in the jungle or wherever you're at. I don't know where these things are. And that's what you hear at night. Like you're camping and that's you hear that. And then you hear this. Coyote. If you ever wondered the difference between coyotes and wolves, coyotes yap and laugh, wolves howl more consistently. Elk bugle. I don't know if it's common knowledge what an elk sounds like, so I've included it in this pack. I played a video game that had this sound, generally. I forget what game it was, but this sound is only produced by males or bulls, and this is basically them announcing to females about how fit they are. The sound can reach frequencies of up to 4,000 hertz, which is unusual for a large animal like this. Jack Snipe. Sounds like a fucking video game protagonist. I'm like a cock shooter. You know, like cock rock, the music? Well, cock shooter is like a Duke Nukem type. I just coined that now, but like a Duke Nukem type game. The Jack Snipe is the smallest of the snipes. Nice brain. And this is the sound the male makes when performing his aerial display for females, referred to as drumming. It's amazing how even birds invented EDM. Can we as humans invent nothing of our own? A mountain lion calls caught on security camera. Yeah, I hate that. This is either a female trying to announce to the males that she's ready to mate, or just a comfortable cat meowing out in the woods. See, this is one of those things where, again, like we assign our own emotions to sounds we hear. And we kind of like anthropomorphize even sounds. And you could fool the fuck out of me in saying that this is a comfortable cat. This sounds like a cat is screaming and like bloody murder is occurring. Mountain lion screaming. One of the most terrifying sounds you'll ever hear. A mountain lion will scream like this when a female is in heat, when they want to remind you that it's their territory. There's an old adage I would like to quote here. If you ever hear a woman screaming in the woods, it's not a woman. Well, you know, there's exceptions to every adage, but Yeah, that's not a sound you want to actively move towards. I believe that is actually something that. Yeah, I don't like that. That scares me. Oof. The southern cassowary. Cassowary is well known for its extremely aggressive behavior. This is the sound that it makes. It uses its entire body to amplify and create this noise. It's been described that when you hear this in the wild, you can feel it because of how much it vibrates the air. It's little fucking dinosaurs, these things. Which Far Cry game had the cassowary in it and they were like little bastards? One of them. Western capercaillie. Might be saying that wrong. Capercaillie? It's the mating call. Wait until you hear this thing's other names. You're going to love it, chat. It's also known as the Eurasian capercaillie, wood grouse, heathercock, cock of the woods, or simply the capercaillie. Simper. That maybe we'll call it that. That's its name. Simper. It's like Simba from the Lion King. This one is the willow parmesan. It's not called that. It's the willow ptarmigan. Oh, I love this thing. Squirtle. This is just the noise this bird makes. The second half of the recording, the loud barking, is a male's mating call. Fantastic. Here's a wolf howling in distress. Ooh, I don't know if I want to hear this one. The original video is labeled as mysterious sound in the woods, but many commenters on it said that this is the sound a wolf makes when it's hurt and calling for help from the pack. Specifically, this apparently sounds like a wolf trapped in a bear trap. I mostly downloaded this because a lot of people in the comments were claiming the sound was getting closer. And as you can see by the spectrogram, it's not. This has been normalized so you can hear it. That's a little dark, that one. And here's a whole pack of wolves howling. They harmonize their calls. They don't make a chorus of one single note. This creates the illusion that there are more members of the pack than there really are. I can understand people long ago fearing wolves when I hear a recording like this. Imagine hearing this at night while out in the woods. And this is why you camp in roundabouts and not in the woods. Because that is not something I would want to hear. Okay, so this is some weird stuff, but let's do it. This is Res Dragon's recordings. This is their personal recordings. I've amassed a sound effect library of over 1,000 sounds. Some of these are extremely mundane, so here's the more interesting stuff.
Back in my psychedelic period.
So this is 91.1 Spokane public radio pot smoking story. This is a story I overheard on the SPR one day while driving home. Really liked the guy's voice, could listen to him talk for hours. I equalized this to remove a lot of the bass from the recording off my car stereo.
At Highland Park there was a lot of distribution of drugs there. You know, people driving up and paying for this and paying for that. It was just one of those areas. And so on this particular day, this guy showed up from California. And me being in a good mood.
He thinks that he's playing the guitar. But here's the thing. I can't really hear it very well, even with the audio enhancement. It's hard to hear.
I went ahead and invited them over to my place. It wasn't really my place. It was my mom's place.
Okay, I didn't hear that.
I was staying with my mom. So, invite these guys over to party with us. And we sort of got partying. Yeah, I mean, I had the psychedelic drugs and they had the pot. And we decided we're going to make a trade. So we made the trade. We were all tripping out. Oh, boy. I mean, blitzed out of our mind.
Blitzed.
And out of nowhere, I'm seeing the hole of the muzzle of a gun right in my face. Of course, you know, when you're zoned out like that, everything is out of proportion. So this hole of the barrel of this gun looked really kind of big. But I recognized that it was the hole that a bullet could come out of. And then I couldn't believe what was happening. I looked up at the guy who was holding this gun in my face. And he had on a nasty look.
Yeah.
And I thought, man, these guys, they're not part of the love culture. Oh, boy. So, these guys, they took all my money. I don't think I could have stood up very fast anyway. They took all my money.
Oh, man.
They took all my drugs.
Oh, man.
And they left.
Good.
And, well, geez, Louisa, I mean, I thought at the time, man, I guess I'm just glad I'm alive.
Yeah.
Could live another day. Definitely, this might be called a bum trip. And, but you know, I wasn't able to think about it too clearly that night. But I did ponder on it for the next few days.
Have a good ponder.
Those, trips back in those hippie days were happy trips. And this was one of them.
Wow. That's something. I would listen to that radio station if it was just that dude telling stories of the hippie days, playing a guitar. Hell yeah. That's entertainment. That's the stuff we need on Twitch. You know what though? Chat. If there's still a Twitch or some equivalent in like 40 years, there's going to be like old pappies doing stuff like that, talking about playing their skibbity toilet games on their mobile devices. And I was playing the skibbities and I was out there at the Applebee's parking lot. And let me tell you, a bunch of guys came over dressed as G-Men, stole my lunch money. Well, I'll tell you what, they could have that, but not my Robux or my Fortnite coin. So I let them have my skibbity toilet dollars. I lived to tell it another day.
Preventative maintenance reminder. Sorter 4 jammed. Preventative maintenance reminder. Sorter 4 jammed.
One of their earliest recordings, recorded with a snowball. For legal reasons, I won't say where this machine is used. But it is used to aid in the unload process of a certain popular department store. It sorts boxes coming off semi-trucks by department. So the unload team can better organize it. On a personal note, this machine is an absolute piece of shit,
Charting system.
and I've not met an unload team that likes it.
System is ready.
It would break down constantly, was slower than sorting the truck by hand, and overall was a colossal waste of money, if you ask me. And yes, it does sound like it's saying farting system.
Charting system.
Mix 103.1.
Alaska radio commercials from Labor Day 1996.
Hi, Betty. El Paso, Texas.
Yes, sir.
I'm looking for a woman named Presley. Her last name is Presley. First.
Okay, so I'm not going to play all of this. This is like 13 minutes almost, but I browse thrift stores looking for odd cassettes occasionally. Again, this is all re-res. It's a good channel, by the way. Res Dragon, not me. I'm reading. One certain day, I found at least 7 or 8 blank tapes with a bunch of pre-recorded songs, albums, voicemails, and other personal mementos. The owner of the thrift store gave all of them to me for free, and I spent a good 3 hours digging through each one, finding what was on them. But this was the most entertaining one. Several times where the DJ says, "A beautiful Labor Day." There's also an ad for 7-Eleven coffee mugs
C-A-Y-N-E.
for 1996.
Well, Paso, sir, under the last name Presley. I'm sorry I don't show a Kane or a C initial.
You don't?
No, sir.
That's surprising. You know why? There's a story in Reuters about a woman named Kane Presley in El Paso, Texas, who has been getting calls from all over the world, Argentina, Australia, and she's supposedly some real-life vampire
Oh, my word.
who drinks like 1 or 2 cups of blood a day. Well, we thought we'd try.
You're calling from where, sir?
From Anchorage, Alaska.
Oh,
hell?
is that right?
Yeah. Actually, it's very dark up here. Maybe we have some vampires here. Maybe I should check our local directory.
You better not go out.
Set your clock radio for Mark and Selena Monday morning on Mix 103.1.
Oh, they're just having witty banter in the morning.
Mix 103.1 with more music, more variety, and a better mix. Atlantis Morissette and Ironic finishing off another 10-song music mix. Good morning, good afternoon, whichever works for you. I'm Steve Hansen. Glad to have you along here with me.
That's when I was listening to the radio,
enjoy
1996.
what is just a beautiful Labor Day out there. If you hang on, I'll be right back with more of Anchorage's best mix to help you enjoy
Labor
it,
Day.
including Natalie Merchant, and Expose is next at Mix 103.1.
Hey, I'm just a regular guy. I like Monday Night Football. I like the feel of a chainsaw rattling in my hands. I gotta skip shaving every once in a while. I need a hug from my wife, a kiss from my daughter. You know, I gotta call my brother for the money he owes me. And I need a good cup of coffee. I mean good. Fresh ground, fresh brewed.
Don't say chock
on the
full of
hour,
nuts.
every hour, 24 hours a day.
Folgers.
That's 7-Eleven coffee.
7-Eleven has
7-Eleven.
guaranteed fresh ground, fresh brewed coffee. Get a 16-ounce cup for just
Fine with
69
7-Eleven
cents.
coffee.
And try our new cappuccinos and
But if
delicious
I can
flavors
be-
like French vanilla or hot chocolate.
If I can be honest, I just put the fucking International Delight, like whatever they have in there. At that point, you don't even taste the coffee anymore. It's like a waste. You may as well just get like a caffeine dessert.
Oscar Mayer Big Bite hot dogs for $1.29. That's right, 2 Big Bite hot dogs for just $1.29. And the night
cheerleaders. No comment as of yet from the White House or the senator's wife.
You want juicy?
Whoa!
Juicy. Tony Roma's delicious, mouth-watering ribs, slow grilled over an open flame. Now,
But yes, I was listening to, when I was most listening to the radio was 1995, 6, and 7. And it was mainly like rock radio, but, you know, they played stuff like Alanis Morissette too. And it was good. It was a good time for me to listen to the radio because there was stuff that I enjoyed. Or did I enjoy it because they played it?
Tony Roma's.
Who knows?
Ribs and a whole lot more.
But let's keep going.
In Mix One-
Okay, that's just the screen door from a very old house. As you can tell, Res Dragon likes just weird noises. Squirrel screaming. I hear this a lot. Yep. I actually asked about this once on stream. And yeah, they establish their territory and they make these noises. Apparently this sound alerts Rez's cat. Here's under an overpass. living in a busy city, you hear this a lot, like under the BQE in particular, the Queensboro Bridge, when you're, collecting $5 from punks for a service. Anyway, yeah, no, this is a familiar sound. However, this has like a nice resonance and reverb to it. At this point, though, like, we're just listening to someone's, like, audio that they recorded. But here's an unknown animal called Deep in the Backwoods of Idaho. There's a pretty long story here. I don't know if I'm going to read it, but essentially, their mother was like, go to a sheep farm. And they went, and it was in the middle of woods. And they recorded some stuff, and this is what was heard. Can't confirm that this is in fact a mountain lion, but it's eerie nonetheless. And that's an actual photo. Voicemail from Andy.
See you later, and hope everybody's okay out there. And
this is another cassette tape find, and the same lot as the tape with the commercials on it. There's no personal information present in the original recording. The tape was labeled Andy playing organ. I think it's cute, but the organ playing is very uncanny, it says.
Hope you get a job, Dad.
Whoa.
I'm just gonna finish up with music.
No job?
The song might not end, I don't know.
I used to do shit like this, and those cassettes are probably long gone, sadly. I pretended to do radio shows. I guess there's a woodpecker.
Well, goodbye.
Imagine if someone like maybe Andy's watching the stream right now, and this is their long lost tape that they've been looking for. Who knows? But I would record with a headphone that I would plug into the mic input on my stereo, and I would record to cassette. Just me doing like mixing songs from the radio, playing stuff from other tapes. It was a double cassette player, and I would mix songs in and pretend to be a radio host. You can kind of probably see why I ended up liking streaming and gravitating towards it. It was an interest of mine for many years. So here's funny sounds. Let's see what funny sounds sound like. Aftershock at Silverwood. Long story short, a friend of mine rode on Silverwood's Aftershock and recorded the sound of Coaster for me. Since due to health reasons I can't ride this ride, we explained to him that halfway through the ride, the entire ride does the whole track again backwards, and he still went anyway. He regretted his decision, and you can hear it. Okay, now this is just some random person that I don't know's home movies. So that I'm a little bit weird about. I think in the future I would prefer more mysteries and interesting sounds from animals and such. But this pack was so good and so well researched and well written. I'm willing to watch his chuckle fuck friend go on a roller coaster and puke. I'm willing to do said thing.
Holy shit.
I would assume they have the microphone. Oh man, that looks fun.
Oh no! Oh no! I'm regretting everything! You're doing good! Oh no! I'm regretting everything!
Oh, I love shit like this, chat. I seriously, I go to Six Flags and I do stuff like this. This would be a, yeah, this is, I love it. You need to do that and have a mic on? Well, it's just me scream laughing. This is Beans. Fart with reverb at half speed. Okay. Okay. This is where we're at now. Peter the Werewolf Halloween cassette. I was always interested in spooky sound cassette tapes. I had one too, actually, from back in the day, and picked them up when I see it. This one in particular had a typical spooky sounds on side A, but side B had story of Peter and the wolf, except now it's a werewolf. It's so corny and stupid, I can't help but love it.
Welcome, kitty winkies.
Also, the man in the black mask is literally the same guy doing the shit Dracula impression, and it's painfully obvious.
Halloween is my favorite time of the year. I'm allowed to leave my coffin and stay out all night long. But you little monsters mustn't do that. Listen to the Count's advice for a safe, spooky trick and treating. Don't go without your parents.
Oh my God.
Don't accept any apples for treats. Don't eat all your candies in one night.
Why not?
Don't do mean tricks to neighbors.
Most generic
Here's
vampire
my list
voice ever.
of do's. Do watch out for traffic. Do carry a flashlight. Do walk together. Do say thanks for the treats.
Oh my God, this voice. It's so bad.
What would Halloween be without a ghost story? At this special time of year, we want a tale of terror.
There's only a minute left. I want to hear it.
A book of booze. In other words, something to spook your socks off. Although yours truly, the Count, does many things well, like turning into a little vampire bat and fluttering all over the foggy old world of Transylvania. I'm a lousy storyteller. I leave that department to another of my creepy friends, somebody who knows of the evils that haunt the Halloween night. The spookiest storyteller I know, the man in the black mask, telling the tale of Peter and the werewolf.
Heavy production values on that cassette tape. And this one's called Wrong Place. This is from the same place as Under the Overpass. There were train tracks running through. It says they were sitting on them. The train showed up a minute after I moved. That definitely is a train.
I better get the fuck out of here.
Large rivet being dropped onto concrete. This sounded really weird in person. My phone's microphone, however, did not like this one bit. Yes, I swear I turned it down. I'm going to lower this one. Okay, great. So yeah, these are loud and unpleasant sounds. Cassette player's onboard speaker breaking. This one's kind of interesting sounding. Make noise Strega throwing a massive loud tantrum. It's a modular synthesizer. Okay. I don't know why that's funny to me, but it kind of is. The dial was on max and it was a mistake. So yes. And here's what happens when you load a Photoshop file into Audacity, aka how to quickly make glitch sounds. My God. All right. And this is what they do with all this stuff. So this is the final file. It's like a sound design track with a lot of weird sounds. So I guess if you compile over 1,000 sounds and you need to use sound effects for a game, an animation, you know, a movie or something, whatever. I mean, it sounds cool. So yeah. We'll leave it there. Vinny, I found the geolocational source of this audio. Oh, neat. That's cool. Hang on. Chat found it. There it is. Well, there is the segment. Thank you, Res Dragon. You did a phenomenal job with this. I'd say for the future, for anyone who wants to do, I like this kind of shit, and I would 100% do more of it, because especially creepy space noises and deep ocean and mysteries, that stuff I find very interesting. Animal noises are kind of cool too, especially if they're like unique and strange. But I can tell this is like 20 something pages of information, and you know, that's the stuff I prefer, but I also found some of the unique sounds like the shortwave radio and that kind of stuff to be interesting. But I wouldn't mind doing more of this in the future. And I hope you enjoyed. And yeah, that's the stream. I don't think I'll be doing Getting Weird with it because it's now 1:15, and I've been streaming for 5 hours. So yet again, Getting Weird with it has been shafted, and I am so sorry. So the problem is this, chat. I started early so we could get to Getting Weird with it, but I ended up playing more Doom and then showing skibbity brain rot kind of shit. And then this pack took a very long time. That said, I hope you enjoyed the materials tonight. Tonally, it definitely was all over the place, but it's fun. And I genuinely wouldn't mind doing more educational segments with a little bit of humor mixed in and some like just weird mysteries kind of shit. So I'm open to ideas from people that watch that may think there's something that I'm well suited to delivering on a Sunday stream that isn't just a terrible video game brain rot. So stuff like that could be cool to do more in the future. But again, it's just I'm so focused on my music and so focused on streaming the actual games and then trying to live my life in between those things that unfortunately writing a script and actually putting something together myself is just too tough. I mean, there's always going to be Sunday stream material, but in the case that something unique like this comes along once in a while, I wouldn't mind doing it. But Yeah, sorry again. We'll just, you know what? I'll tell you what, chat. We'll just put Getting Weird with It at the end of every Sunday stream until I actually do it. And maybe we just will never do it. It'll just be, you know, like, sorry, Matt Damon, you couldn't come on. But I'll tell you what, I do have a lot of Getting Weird with It because over the past however long, I've collected, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I got like 13 interesting games that I have no idea what to do with. So I just add them to a Getting Weird with It. They're definitely weird. And, you know, I also amass like stuff for the Steam Speen segment as well. And when the pot overflows, I try to put them together into a segment. I have fun with it. But yeah, I definitely need to be a little bit more. If I'm going to do Getting Weird with It, I have to make a point to actually do it like first or second. But here's what we're going to do, chat. So once again, I would like to thank you for watching the Sunday stream. Thank you, everybody who submitted a pack, who helps out, my mods, etc. Thank you for watching. And it's, you know, I'm going to be gone Wednesday, but I'll be live tomorrow and the day after, more than likely. Maybe not tomorrow, but at the very least, I will be live Tuesday night and play some games, do some RimWorld. I will have some good pre-recorded material on the Full Sauce channel. Some you might not want to miss, and that will be while I'm gone. And when I get back, I won't be doing a Sunday stream. However, I have a couple of things that I'm maybe looking to intersperse throughout the week that are Sunday-esque. So, yeah, that's my plans at the moment. But I'll be around soon, and I'll see you then. So, chat, always a pleasure. Can't thank you enough. If you have subbed, know that I appreciate you, even if I don't say your name. And if you don't have the money to sub, don't worry about me. Take care, and see you whenever. Goodbye.
Longest recorded sentence was give dactyl. Me give eat dactyl. Me eat dactyl. Give me eat dactyl. Give me you. Nim's longest recorded sentence was give dactyl. Me give eat dactyl. Me eat dactyl. Give.
Pero yo puedo estar. Come. La garganta.